back to Monster, back with Marvel Heroes, and this time we got the Black Panther on the chopping block. And with his recent tuning corner changes, it brought up a chance to do a new video on the Panther. Although the changes didn't do too much to him, just to show there's no Omega points being used, but I did change him around a little bit. Before, Enervating Slash was a basic power, now it's a Spirit Spender, which alters how everything works. So before I had him as an all-energy character, because I didn't like Predator's Frenzy. They now made Predator's Frenzy work a little better for me. So I changed around the Jungle Warrior build. And they did a little bit with his Cryo Dagger and Triple Throw and Fan of Knives. If you're a fan of throwing stuff around, you'll like that. They kind of worked around a little bit of his skill sets with his jumps and his rolls. So if you use Stealthy Escape and you're using Knockdown Sweep, if you try to sweep and escape within, well, if you escape and then try to sweep within 3 seconds, you'll do double damage, and then you get an 8-second cooldown on your sweep. I don't like that at all. Actually, I think it's pretty terrible, because I find his sweep one of his skills that gives him some survivability, and I like to sweep more than once. And I find his Stealthy Escape something that gives him survivability as well. I tend to use both of those skills more than once in 8 seconds. So if you're knocked down sweeping, you're kind of gated into using Panther Leap now, which means you can't stealth. The Panther Leap has a stun. The stun's alright. So you'll see it in action. And then the Panther Leap, if you use this, your Vibranium Trap gains 150% extra damage and has an 8-second cooldown. As long as you Panther Leaped within 4 seconds of using, and then within 4 seconds after Panther Leaping, you can use Vibranium Trap to get the extra damage. That's not so bad. I don't really care about it because I don't use Vibranium Trap. I don't know if anybody actually does use it. That's most of the changes. They got rid of a skill set and merged it with Panther Grace and Panther Soul. And that's about it. So for the build, I'm going to do 20 points into the Scything Sweep. Just gives us area damage, and it weakens enemies so they deal 10% less damage. But more importantly, it applies a dot effect on everybody. It applies 1 stack of Enervating Slash. So for that, we got to put 1 point into Enervating Slash just so the dot comes up. Otherwise, it won't apply that 1 dot. We're going to do 20 points into Predator's Frenzy. They changed this from boss damage to bonus damage against bleeding targets. And you get attack speed against bleeding targets. 20% bonus damage, 20% attack speed. So this starts ripping into targets really well. And then it's kind of spirit intensive, but you can offset that with some gear choices, which is what I'm doing. And then we're going to do 20 points to Knockdown Sweep. I like Knockdown Sweep. I find it very survivable skill. It gives you survivability. It knocks enemies down so you're not getting hit. It's great. Knocks them down for 3 seconds. And it doesn't really cost too much spirit. It does some good damage to AoE. 20 points into Panther Soul. Obviously this is awesome. Gives you damage negated of 20%, damage rating versus enemies not targeting you, defense rating, maximum health, and health per seconds, and you're able to see enemies on the mini-map. 20 points into Jungle Snare. This gives us some extra dot damage. Gives us damage twice per second. Immobilize and area duration is 8 seconds. Vulnerability, enemies take 10% extra damage. Persists for 2 seconds after they leave the area, and you can maintain 2 areas at a time. Panther Grace, we're going to put 20 points into. Critical hit chance, dodge rating, move and attack speed, projectile deflection, and restore 4.8 spirit when you strike an enemy. That's pretty good. And this is also your crowd control immunity duration buff as well. So if you're PvPing, you're going to want to use that. 20 points into Wrath of Bast. This is your signature ability. This will do down some decent AoE damage. It's a really fast cooldown, so it's not a super damaging signature. It's not an uber signature, it's only 20 seconds. But it gives you a big buff to damage as well for 3 seconds. So it also terrifies all enemies on the screen, so for 3 seconds they don't do anything. This is one of those signatures you kind of use at will, because it's on such a low cooldown, you just kind of blow it out there. You don't worry about it so much. Then the rest of your points, in this case I have a lot of extra points, go into the Dora Milaje. This is your pets, and they do some extra damage. They take some attention away from you, and they give you dexterity, so they're useful. And what's nice is they definitely take the attention away from you. There are 2 extra targets out there, and they provide some extra damage over time. And that's it for the build. I got the extra points, so I'm just going to put them over here into the leap. Make sure you put a point into Panther Leap before you fill out any extra points. And basically you should have had 1 point in Enervating Slash, 1 point in Panther Leap. We are going to use the Panther Leap. So you spend your points, and you put Panther Leap on your right mouse button. This is what I do. Predator Frenzy on your left mouse button. I tuck Dora Milaje way over here, and then I have for my index finger Knockdown Sweep, then my ring finger gets Scything Sweep, then I get Jungle Snare, and then I can just tab over for Wrath of Bast, because that's only every 20 seconds so I can do that. And that's it. Gearing. This is pretty simple. We got 2 damage types. We're doing physical and we're doing energy. So that's pretty nice to have both damage types. It means he's power cosmic able on this build. So I just started leveling up my power cosmic, as you can see. So you won't see it at its fullest potential, but once I start unlocking the 2 rank 2 and rank 4 of the power cosmic, his DPS will shoot through the roof. Actually, I should say rank 3 and rank 4. His DPS will shoot through the roof, because that's 1500 damage rating. Nothing, if you got anything that does 2 or 3 damage types, nothing beats the power cosmic. And then once you get rank 5, you'll get +2 to all stats, so that's even better. I got an advanced kung fu training sequence. They're always good for people that are melee. Gives you an extra 900 defense. This one's got 900 health, some dodge, and it's got 373 damage rating, so it's a pretty good one. I got the dupe ectoplasm. Because we're doing energy damage, I get the big part of this, which is the 19.9% base damage to bosses. That's what I really want. Physical power gives me some extra dodge rating. Not too worried about the dodge, but I'll take it. Got the saber-tooth medallion, because now we're causing enemies to bleed. This gives us damage rating versus bleeding targets, health per minute, it gives us hit points, and then it gives us an extra chance to bleed with +2 to all powers. We got an advanced aim robot dispenser. This gives us some crit chance, gives us physical damage rating and energy damage rating, so we get both our damage types out there, and it gives us a good chunk of those. Those are about 500 damage rating each. And then I'm using Arnim Zola's ESP box. This is kind of hard to get, I understand, even though they just upped the drop rates of these. You might have an easier time of picking one up now. You can go get one off Mandarin. Just, I would suggest Cosmic level is probably the easiest chance to get one. However, you can do the quest for the Matt's Arrowhead, Super Heroic Matt's Arrowhead, and that's just as good. I don't know if it's Super Heroic anymore, but the Matt's Arrowhead will give you a spirit per hit as well. And I'll put that on. And that's it. You can find Matt on the dinosaur jungle there. He's in the town. And I got my +3 fighting pet. I use the +3 fighting pet because we got 2 damage types, so can't buff one specific stat. We'll buff fighting, which will give us damage across all. I got health on a 3-to-1 core, 3,000 hit points, 100 spirit. This one's got +1 fighting on it as well. It's a pretty good core with all hit points. I like to sit anywhere between 22 to 25,000 hit points minimal. Now this is Relics of Lemuria. They're not terrible. They're pretty good for him, but these are a low stack. You can do better. You know, melee, anything that does, well, physical damage is really the damage that type that's pulling through here. You can back up the melee damage. You can back up the physical damage, crit damage. He's got a lot of crit. I got an Insignia Crystal, which is perfect because it pulls through with energy and physical damage, movement speed, and defense rating. Everything you're going to want on Black Panther. This one gives me health and critical hit chance. So it's actually not a terrible one at all. I got a Cosmic Ring with health, critical hit damage, critical hit rating, and then movement speed with +1 to all powers. I got River of the Soul on a defensive Uru. Then I got his Knives of the Zawari. Zawavari. Weird name. It's got 860 damage rating, +1 speed, chance to cause a bleed, 300 crit rating, 3000 critical damage rating, 250 damage rating to melee powers. Let's see. +5 to Predator's Frenzy, +5 to Scything Sweep. So that's pretty good. Now this is currently modified with energy damage. I would actually have physical damage on this because I'd really want to be upping Predator Frenzy, but this is the old buff. I got the Thrice Blessed armor. This has got 2300 defense, which is a nice chunk of defense. 1362 health. 108 spirit recovery, that doesn't matter. 8% power duration. And then 6 ranks to Black Panther's avatar abilities, that's good. If I was going to put anything on there, I'd put armor. Blessed Belt of the Panther God. It's got 2000 defense rating, 1700 health, 8% movement speed, -8 spirit cost, big thing right there. +9 ranks to Jungle Snare, +6 ranks to Black Panther's Ritual Warrior powers. And that's got 150 defense. I must have found this on someone who was just better. Boots of the Coal Tiger. 1400 health, or 1400 defense, 9.3 movement speed, well, it's almost 100% base damage rating to movement powers. It's not going to matter so much. 1300 health, +6 to Panther Grace, +8 to Panther Soul. That's actually pretty good. Wakandan Ceremonial Necklace. This has got 1500, almost 1600 defense. It's got 19% ally damage, 21% ally health, 14% ally move speed. Gain 17 spirit when you defeat an enemy. That's going to pay off in spades for us. It's kind of a spirit intensive build, but that's why Arnim Zola's or Super Heroic Matt's Arrowhead. It's got damage rating versus enemies not targeting you. That's not going to come in so much now that they kind of did this little thing with the stealthy escape and knockdown sweep. It's kind of a nerf in my opinion. I don't like it. 266 crit rating. When you critically hit, your summon allies gain 1030 damage rating for 5 seconds. That's going to be all the time. +8 to Dora Milaje. And I got energy rating on that again. I would actually have physical rating on that. Or if you have the melee buff, I would go melee. And that's it for gear. So we'll go take on a Cosmic Dr. Octopus. We got Carnage as a pet. We're leveling him up.
You know nothing of honor.
Eternity Splinter. One thing good about this Panther Leap is you can go up and down different levels like that. I do knockdown sweep first. But there's not a lot of enemies that skip the knockdown sweep just because the damage doesn't matter. You can see that spirit per enemy kill is really paying off here. Get the bounty hunter tracker up. The downfall to the leap is you don't always leap to where you want to go. Oh, we got our bounty hunter box. Yeah, that's a pretty easy kill.
Some may fear you, but I do not.
And no, Dr. Octopus controlled. And that's it. So, hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you real soon. Probably do a curse run with them. I already did a precursory curse run, and it went pretty well. So, I'll talk to you guys later.